Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about 4 reasons why the narcissist has contempt for you. People don't understand this. Like, why does the narcissist always want to hurt me? Like, what's their problem with me? And I'm going to get into why narcissists, they have this anger, they have this contempt, they have this disdain towards you. So let me get into the 4 reasons why they feel this way about you. Number 1, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons, they're jealous and they're envious, okay? They have the spirit of Cain, all right? They feel very jealous of either what you have or who you are or your strength. So narcissists, they thrive, trying to cut down people that are strong. And so they could be very jealous of you for whatever reason. Maybe you got more attention than they did growing up. Maybe they're jealous of what you have. Maybe they're jealous because you're better looking. Maybe they're envious because you have more than they have. Maybe they're jealous of, what the attention people have given you. So all of this will cause the narcissist to have a deep contempt for you. Because here's the next reason why narcissists have contempt for you. They're in a constant competition with you, all right? Narcissists are never team players. Never, ever team players. The only ones they're team players with are other narcissists when they're aligning against a common enemy. But it's never a partnership with a narcissist. They always have to be on top, and they will be in a constant competition. They don't even want to be ordinary, okay? To be ordinary to a narcissist is like death to a narcissist. They always have to feel superior. And, whether it's a partner, whether it's a family member, they always have to put you in your place and suppress you and show their dominance, all right? So there's always a competition between you and the narcissist. That's why they'll never validate you. They don't want to validate you because to validate you, lifts you up. They don't want to lift you up. They want to take you down so that they could be on top and they have the control, they have the power, okay? And they feel the superiority. What's the next reason why narcissists have a deep-rooted contempt for you? Your authenticity, okay? Narcissists absolutely hate authentic people. They hate truth tellers, all right? Why do they hate these people? Number 1, they're jealous because these people can be authentic and vulnerable, and the narcissist can't be vulnerable. The narcissist is a basic coward. Understand this. You're dealing with a coward. You're dealing with a basic bully. So when they see people that are authentic, they're automatically jealous because you can be vulnerable. You can express your feelings. You're not worried about what other people think or feel, okay? But the narcissist, they're terrified about what other people think and feel about them. They're always worried, hyper-focused, worried about their image. So that's why they're very, very, like if it's a covert narcissist, they're very, very careful about what they say, all right? A covert narcissist will not generally come out and take you on toe-to-toe. They always fight behind the scenes, under the radar, always by passive aggression. Passive aggressive behavior is how the covert narcissist fights. And they do that because they can't take you on toe-to-toe, because they're afraid you will destroy them. So they've got to be sneaky about it, where you can't put your finger on it. And then if you ever bring something up that they did, some kind of passive-aggressive behavior they did, they'll say, oh, what are you talking about? I didn't mean it like that. Let's say they give you a cutting joke or they're sarcastic. And you say, oh, what are you trying to tear me down or something? They'll say, what are you talking about? Oh, my goodness, you're so sensitive. Oh, you always take things the wrong way. So this is how they protect themselves. They give you a jab and they're able to hide behind the passive-aggressive behavior whereby you can never point a finger at them and say that they're deliberately doing it to you, because they do it in such an underhanded type of way. But they hate your authenticity, all right? Because number one, they're jealous of the fact that you could be vulnerable and they can't. And they hate your authenticity because they're threatened by you, all right? Now, hear me now. Those narcissists, when they see somebody who speaks the truth, somebody who's, throwing out facts, somebody who's coming at them with the facts and the truth, they are most definitely threatened by you, okay? And they will have a great contempt for you because they're afraid you're going to expose them. They're afraid that by you exposing them, they're going to face shame. So they will have contempt for you because they're threatened by you, all right? They're afraid of what you can do. So what are they going to do? They're going to character assassinate you. Now, I did a reel yesterday where I talked about this, or it was a post rather, and I said, when a narcissist can't control you, all right, especially a covert narcissist, when a covert narcissist can't control you, their next weapon will be to destroy your reputation and inflict shame on you to other people. They will ruin your reputation by talking to the people around you and smearing you so that these people don't want anything to do with you. It's also passive-aggressive behavior in the sense that they're fighting you by manipulating other people against you. They always love to do that. And they could also fight another way by getting other people to fight you, all right? Covert narcissists could get people to fight you, actually. They'll stir the pot. They'll get them fired up, and then people attack you out of nowhere, and it's because they were fired up by the covert narcissist, all right? Because they're sneaky. They don't want to take you on toe-to-toe. They know that you're going to destroy them. All right. Next reason why narcissists have contempt for you is because you're not making them happy, all right? And nobody is going to make the narcissist happy because deep down, the narcissist is an unhappy person. They could have all the supply in the world. Listen to me when I tell you this, because somebody put a comment on one of the posts and they said, well, the narcissists, they have all this supply. They're living their life. They look happy. They look this. They look that. Listen to me when I tell you this. They could have all the supply in the world, but they're also going to find, problems with all that supply in the world too, all right? Because even if they have a lot of supply, that supply is going to kick back and you maybe fight with them too or argue with them, but they're not going to show you that, okay? They're not going to show you that. They're going to show that their life is great, they're living their best life. But behind closed doors, there's a lot of strife going on, all right? There's a lot of strife going on. That's why they've got to bounce around from person to person, because they're either fighting with that person or they're sick of that person or that person is pushing back, giving them boundaries. So now they got to bounce to the other person, all right? So narcissists, they will have contempt for you because they expect you to make them happy. The narcissist fantasizes a lot of times. See, here's how it goes with the narcissist, how they go in on you. They go in on you either by fantasizing about you and building you up in their minds, thinking that you're going to fulfill every dream of theirs, or they're just flat out lusting you, all right? It's never love. A lot of times it's lust. If it's not lust, then what it is it's a straight up con, all right? That's what it is. It's a straight up con where that narcissist knew they didn't like you, but they liked the supply you had, which could be money, place to live, attention, ego boost, okay? But it wasn't love. So the thing is, narcissists will have contempt for you, and they get angry because they feel, see, when things don't go right for the narcissist, they don't take accountability and say, oh, they made bad decisions in their life. Nah, they don't say they ever made bad decisions in their life. Instead, if they got to where they got to and it didn't end up well for them, it's because somebody else did it to them. They will never own when they're wrong. They will never own the fact that they made bad decisions. No, it's always your fault. It's like when a narcissist cheats on you, they'll never, ever, take the accountability. They'll say, you made me cheat. If they have to admit to the cheating, which most of them won't, but if they have to admit to the cheating, they'll say, well, you made me cheat, or we were broken up. They love to say you were broken up because you had one fight. Nobody ever talked about being broken up, but they'll lie. They'll gaslight and say, well, we were broken up, all right? Or we were on break, or whatever it is, or you were always working. They'll try to weasel their way out of taking accountability. And they'll come back and they'll say, well, you weren't making me happy. You weren't doing this. And this is what they tell the new supply as well. They'll go to the new supply and they'll say, oh, yeah, my ex never gave me sex. Oh, my ex was controlling. Oh, my ex was a cheater. They just blatantly lie to the new supply, making their exes out to be monsters, so that the new supply thinks that you're a real whack job, and they'll be afraid to even contact you. Another reason they tell the new supply that, you guys, by the way, is because they want the new supply to be afraid of their exes so they don't reach out and contact them. All right. They don't ever want to say something like, oh, yeah, my ex was a nice person, but it didn't work out, or blah, 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 blah. A cunning narcissist might do that because he knows that you're looking to see if he's going to badmouth the ex. But in general, narcissists are going to smear their exes, and they're going to smear it to the new supply because they want to deflect all the shame onto the ex, and they don't want the new supply to ever reach out to the exes and find out what the real story is, all right? But again, it's the blame game, all right? So if a narcissist is not happy, guess what? In their minds, it's because of you. And this is where this mind fucks the victim, because the victims of narcissistic abuse, they always question themselves. They always say, did I do something wrong? Should I have not mentioned something about their social media, them adding people or this or that? Was it wrong of me to ask them, to call me all the time? Was it No, it's not wrong. You're in a committed relationship, all right? And they should respect that relationship. If they're not respecting the relationship, then you don't need to be in it, okay? But what they're going to do is they're going to make you feel like you did something wrong, or they're going to devalue you, put you down, give you little jabs about your weight. Either you're overweight or you're underweight, all right? They'll call you a loser. They'll say you're stupid. They'll say you make bad decisions. They'll any way they could cut you up, rip you up, they will. And that's another reason why they want to find your vulnerabilities in the beginning. Because once they find your vulnerabilities, that's what they're going to attack you with later on. That's what they're going to bring up. Let's say you're sensitive about your age. That's the first thing that narcissist is going to come at you about. And they'll call you old or call you too young and stupid. So, whatever you told them you're sensitive about, this is going to be their weapon of choice in coming back at you. All right. But the bottom line is narcissists are, they're filled with contempt. They are just, and you could see it in their faces. When you're dealing with a covert narcissist, they don't come out and tell you how they feel. But I guarantee you, if you have enough experience like I do, okay, having been around these people my whole fucking life, I could read them just by looking at their face. I know exactly what's on their mind. I could see right through that snake, all right? And you will too. The more experience you have, the more education you have, they may not come out and tell you about their contempt for you, all right? But you will actually see it on their face. It's the rolling of the eyes. It's the stare, the evil stare with the black eyes. It's the smirk with the one side of the mouth going up, all right? It's the dismissive behavior of turning their back to you, ignoring you. All of this shows contempt for you. Okay, so you got to be a shrewd article, and you got to be able to read this. Read when somebody has contempt for you, because they won't come out and tell you when they have contempt. And I am going to do a podcast. My next podcast, probably be the next podcast, I'm going to talk about when the narcissist will actually tell you the truth, when you will get the truth of how they really feel about you. There's 3 times you will actually get the truth out of that narcissist when they will tell you how they actually feel. All right. So, but I'm not going to get into that in this podcast because this podcast is about something else. So understand this. There is no peace with a narcissist, and there is no love with a narcissist. There is contempt, there is jealousy, there is envy, there is competition. They are jealous of your authenticity and the fact that you're vulnerable. They're also angry because they feel it's your duty to make them happy. And if you don't make them happy, they blame you for it and don't want to be bothered with you. And let me bring up this other fact about you making them happy. A lot of narcissists, when you get sick, they will leave you, okay? If you have a serious illness, okay, God forbid you have, a terminal illness like cancer or something like that, right? Narcissists don't want to be around that. They don't want to be around that because guess what? It doesn't make them happy. They have to put themselves out for the person that's sick. Maybe take them to doctors, help them out, have kindness, have understanding. It infringes on their lifestyle. When the other person is sick, they can't have fun and do things that they like to do. Instead, they have responsibility, which they hate. They hate responsibility. They hate hard work. They hate putting themselves out for anybody else because they are completely selfish. It's all about them, all right? They have no empathy. And that's why I tell you, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I'm with this narcissist and I don't know what to do and, this and that, and you're in a point in your life where, you're not 25 anymore, you better seriously think about that, because if you're stuck with this person later on in life and you get sick with them, they will either leave you for dead or they will torture you when you're sick, okay? Because they're angry they're angry that you're not making them happy, and they will blame you. They don't have any compassion for people that are sick, people that are disabled. They don't have compassion for children because they have no patience for children, all right? Children are work. So they will have contempt and anger because they're not getting that dopamine rush, rather. You're not giving them a dopamine rush. What you are is depressing them, all right? So they will have contempt for you when you're going through a hard time. And this could be not even necessarily just being sick. They could have contempt for you if you say anything or do anything that they don't like, all right? They don't want to fucking hear it. They don't want to hear your complaints. You are never able to really air how you feel with a narcissist because they don't fucking want to hear it. They will blame you. They will say, oh, you're sensitive. Oh, you take everything to heart. Oh, you make a big deal out of everything. Oh, you have mental issues. You can never, ever sit down and express your feelings to a narcissist because they will cut you up for it because they don't want to hear it. They only want to hear happy shit. That's all they want to hear. Happy shit, okay? Things that make them feel good. Because they don't ever want to feel bad for somebody else, or they don't ever have to want to put themselves out for somebody else. They're demonic, okay? They're demonic. They're evil people. They're all about themselves. They don't care about other people's pain, all right? And so here's what I'm telling you. You don't ever want to be caught up with somebody like that later on in life, all right? Never, never. Because that's when what happens is you're going to reap what you sow because you never got rid of that narcissist. And now, because you never got rid of them, you're going to be stuck with the devil. All right. You're going to be living with somebody who's a miserable person that's going to torture you when you're weak, you're vulnerable, you're sick, maybe you're older. All right. Horrible. So you guys, I'm trying to save your life. You don't ever want to be stuck with a narcissist later on in life. All right. Because they do nothing but fight with you either raging out at you or giving you silent treatments, because now they're miserable. They're older, they're miserable, and they're hating life, and they're hating you for not making them happy. All right? So, you guys, I think I touched upon it. So these are all the reasons why narcissists will have contempt over you. And like I said, the big one is the envy. The big one is the envy. And they will be envious of your relationships with other people. They could be envious of your relationships with children. They'll compete with you for the children's attention. They could be envious of your friends, that you have friends. They could be envious of a relationship you have with your family, where they try to cut you off from your family. So, they're filled with contempt. They're just miserable people. All right. They're just miserable people. And they want to bring you down to their level and even lower than their level because of all that jealousy and envy. All right. So you're not going to change them. Nothing's going to change them. They'll be miserable to the day they die, and they will never change. I have yet to see a narcissist change, all right? Because they don't self-reflect, and they don't have to change. A lot of them don't have to change. So if they don't have to change, they're not going to change. And they don't ever want to acknowledge that they did anything wrong. If they do go to therapy or whatever, it's because somebody put them up to it. All right? Somebody put them up to it, because a real narcissist will never acknowledge that anything's wrong with them. It's your fault. You're the problem in their minds. All right? So they are, it's futile. Flat out futile when you're dealing with a narcissist. Don't deal with a narcissist at all, okay? If you can. And if you have to deal with them, completely gray rock them. Gray rock them, minimal contact, all right? But these are not your people. Understand this. These are not your people. These are not the people that are going to love you, support you, have your back. Not in today's world, not today's Satan. You can't expect the devil to have your back. And that's exactly the principles and laws that they follow. They follow, Satan's laws to deceive, lie, cheat, steal, and confuse. All right. So they have great contempt for you. And it's because they don't have the Holy Spirit within themselves. It's as flat as that. They do not have the Holy Spirit within themselves. They don't believe in that. They believe in going to the dark side and playing mind games and trying to get over that way. That's their survival tactic, to work in the darkness, work behind a mask, all right? That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a demon, all right? So distance yourself from these people. So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that listens to my videos, my podcasts. Excuse me, you guys. I've been up like all night. I really appreciate all the love and support. And I just made 100,000, over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I couldn't have done it without the support of you guys. I want to tell you, you guys really, you and my children, you keep me going. All right. And I'm so happy that I'm able to help you guys. And that nobody, I'm trying to open up people's eyes so that they never, ever have to go through what I went through. And I will put together, a podcast and explain to you all that I went through. And you guys are you're really going to understand why I know what I know. Okay. Check out also my Facebook, The Game EXP 123, TikTok, The Game Exposed, and Instagram, The Game EXP 123. And have a great day. I'm losing my voice. You guys have a great day.